So away we go, second half. Still anyone's game, but Adelaide start with certainly their best foot forward. Up by those 16 points around the centre. El Santo, Montagna, Milne to half forward. Mark is taken in defence by a storming Shaw. Runs to the centre square. Kicks down towards half forward. Going back, getting a fist on it was Clark. Went the wrong way though. Jenkins left it behind. So did Gilbert. Back comes Jenkins. So agile for a big man. Played basketball. Hooks it across the body. It was almost a look-away pass as he finds Tippett. And the third term starts as the first did.
Fell in his hands in against Tippett, but it was interesting at the start of that quarter. St Kilda started with a 7-man defence, 5-man forward line, and it was the extra Crows player that got it half back. Started the surge forward.
Ralph Clark saw him land on the crown of his head there. His hands broke his fall, but not completely. Now Tippett for his 4th goal, and he puts it through just to start the Saints Cadilla forward.
So that matches his best for the season and best against the Saints. So they're back to where they were before that late Schneider goal.
Could test his career high tonight at 7.
Did that Dennis, that Etihad, which he has got a great record at Etihad. That roof on would suit him, wouldn't it?
Good effort here by Ralph Clark. It's an awkward one to land on your head like that, so we'll monitor him pretty closely in this second half.
So Tippett, a good record against the Saints, 18 goals in 7 matches. Equals his best effort against them tonight and for the season. So Stephen out of the centre. And Shaw with a big fly. He's got a bit of dash about him. Riley. Well, it was Milne and Revolt together. 2 blokes that are playing in the same team with 500 goals each. So that's a rarity. It doesn't happen often when 2 players have kicked 500 goals for that club and played together. Lloyd and Salmon did it 10 years ago at Essendon. Lee, you were with Moncrief a long time back, but it's a good effort by Milne and Revolt.
Where players have to know what the plan is at half-time now, because St Kilda know they're trying to generate the spare defender, therefore the Crows are going to have a spare. If they kick the ball long and high into their forward line, St Kilda, they're having enough trouble with equal numbers. They'll just keep getting rebounded. So they've got to be aware of what setup's been put in place.
And McAvoy and Doughty. It was a good tackle by Revolt.
Adelaide players. Ducked it, no. And locking it in. Arm was free, ducking the tackle.
It was Jones, actually. Caught him Revolt, but...
textbook tackle.
Don't know whether that's prior opportunity.
But I was about to say that textbook tackle, no prior opportunity there.
So,
Brendan, BJ.
So Armitage to take the kick. So the Saints to get one back, as they've been doing most of the night, haven't they? 6 goals, 1 from set shots, Armitage. And looking good. So St Kilda get their first goal after half-time.
He's having a nice season, David Armitage, a Queenslander. I think the knock on him was always a lack of speed, but he's a heady player. He's got a nice kick, and he certainly doesn't mind it hard. Gets a timely goal. So the margin back to what it was at half-time, 16 points.
He's grabbed it, he's tackled into one, and in fact it jumped. You know, I'm not sure whether the umpire almost paid it against the 3 Crows players for almost a team holding the ball. It certainly wasn't prior opportunity on Riley.
Jacobs knocked it down. Del Santo grabbed it, kicks it through the centre square. Van Berlo put it down. Not so McKay. Talia did brilliantly. Releases Dangerfield. Searching kick towards half forward. Ralph Clark going back with a flight of it. Well done by Clark. Weaved his way through. The ball was his objective. Under pressure, Dempster kicks across the face of goal. Montagna and Sloan. Walker tries to buffet his way through. Clever with his hands. Gave it to Thompson. Callanan trying to soccer off the ground. Petrenko. Arriving quickly, Jones. Van Berlo got him. The big fellow, Jacobs, throws it on the boot. Oh, we like that. The giant gets a goal.
There was just great pressure by the Crows. It was a fantastic effort by the Saints to try and clear it, but Adelaide just kept swarming. There's a lot of people in South Australia think that Jacobs would be in line for All-Australian selection. I feel like he's had a year that's right up there with the best ruckman going around. And ironically, he might be in competition with an ex-Crow in Ivan Maric, but he's had a good night again tonight.
One of the big advantages the Crows have in their forward 50s, they've got genuine tall targets, but they're all adept when the ball's on the ground. So down the other end, St Kilda, when the ball hits the deck, the Adelaide defenders run it out, but in the Adelaide forward line, the talls can play a role on the deck also.
It's a good tap by Jacobs to Dangerfield. And a terrific tackle, Del Santo. Nice hands to Montagna. Building the ball out wide. He's had good numbers tonight, Montagna. He's had a good month, actually. Sat for Riley. Oh, that's down the field, surely. That's silly stuff.
There's been a bit going on between Armitage and Jacobs.
Yeah, that just cost your team, doesn't it?
And they're back at it again.
So Porplesia going long and hard. Tippett couldn't quite walk, or almost took a specky one-hander. And then Sloan got down low. Petrenko and Clark. Clark's competed really well tonight. Played by Jones. Fisher tackled. Gilbert had to get rid of it in a hurry. Back it comes to Wright. Wright, that's a good kick. Right to the top of the square. Gwilt, there were a few flyers. Sloan held up by Montagna. And that's a ball up. Tim.
We saw Blake get crashed into just before half-time. He's actually been subbed out of the game now, and Geary, as you can see there in the foreground with the helmet on, has replaced him.
Had the op Geary after the Swans match 3 weeks ago, so with that helmet, Adelaide pushing hard here.
Mine, ball taken out.
So bounce. About 20 metres out from Adelaide's attacking goal.
Give me some room, please. Got some room, mate.
Chris Knight's warming up as well. So both the subs getting busy. Oh, wonderful by Jacobs. Right upended. This is Stephen. Haven't called his name too often tonight. Armitage works a little 1-2 with him. Stephen under pressure. Puts it across the boundary line. Not on the full. It's bounced out of bounds. Armitage, who turns 24 tomorrow. Number 20, there's Stephen. And just looking at Armitage, there's a bit of the Travis Paises about him. Just a hard-working player. Doesn't have the outside speed to electrify fans. Long kick from Van Berlo. Clark missed it completely. Bounces towards the boundary. Callanan ignores his left boot. Comes on his right. Snaps.
Good finish.
Oh, what a goal. Well, Lee started singing his praises earlier tonight, and I don't reckon he's jumped off. Not just yet anyway, Bruce.
I tell you what, Dennis, there might be a lot of 28-year-olds out there, but there's not many 28-year-old Callanans out there, are there?
Those quick little steps that just keeps getting him there.
He's a good player, isn't he? No wonder Centrals couldn't get beaten in grand finals here.
Here's the long ball coming there. Clark wouldn't want to see that one again. You really do need to make some contact if you're the third man up. But, geez, Callanan has been fantastic. Coming in at 28 years old, really looks poised and dangerous every time he gets to the right spots.
Del Santo read that very well. Shaw down low, ricocheting away. Rutten and also Kaczynski, a couple of old warriors together. Rutten's in build up.
Came back to him, didn't dive on it.
Just looking at Rutten, since 2005, Tom, he's played 170 of the 175 games the Crows have played. He has been a reliable defender, hasn't he? All-Australian at one stage. Terrific player. Wright took it out of the ground. Callanan again, just sort of held on to a bit. Dempster, Walker. And Walker almost handed the ball there to Van Berlo. Gang tackled. And the good thing about the Saints, they've still got an appetite for the fight.
St Geary's came on. Nothing against Blake himself, but I think St Kilda's defence has looked a bit big and cumbersome at ground level. So Blake coming off and Geary on, I mean, he'll take the Callanan matchup.
Wide of the pack. Schneider goes after it. Hurriedly onto the boot by Callanan, close to the boundary line. Escorted across his right.
further to that point, Lee, it means that Sam Fisher and Gwilt will have to play key defensive posts, and we'll lose a bit of run off half-back for the Saints.
McAvoy wins it down. Goddard just jams it on the boot. It goes very high. Some holding.
Adelaide free.
Talia gets the free kick against Revolt, who tonight really hasn't been a factor. Came on, played for about 3 minutes, went off, and came back after about another 10 minutes. And as I say, has done not very much by his lofty standards. Thompson goes down towards half forward. Callanan just waiting. He forced the error, actually. Tackled Gilbert, taken by Tippett. Goes to Dangerfield. Wonderful acceleration. Got through where there was no gap. He sends it long down towards full forward. Tippett was up, off hands, and across the line.
That power and then the acceleration. We've seen it a few times with Dangerfield. It's
terrible kick release. Sorry, Raf Clark putting good under the pump. Back to Clark. He wants the boundary line. He's got it. Boundary throw.
That combination of speed and strength that Dangerfield's got, so it's really hard to tackle them because they're strong enough to sort of break the first claim, and then you can't get a second chance for the tackler to regroup.
Jacobs good again. And Dangerfield down low. Brilliant hands. Paul Pleasure held up. Saints trying to swarm it out. Malira liked his second quarter. And that one going towards the line. McAvoy. Shaw's got him. Good hands, though. And then Montagna belting the ball forward. Revolt and Talia. And off Talia for a boundary. Is that off on the full? No, boundary throwing. Just on Talia. Quickie, high draft pick. It's very early in his career, but some of the Crows hierarchy think there's a bit of the prestige about him. He hardly touches the ball, but the blokes that play on him don't get a lot of it so far.
He defends.
He's got a long way to go to have a career like that, but it's been a good start, and he's doing well tonight.
Well, you meant...
Don't go high. Don't go high.
You mentioned earlier, Bruce, Ben Rutten, and he would be playing a huge role in his development there, Talia. So Talia can sit there across half-back knowing that he's got an absolute general behind him in the key defensive post to teach him the craft.
Graham to Malira, breaks away, goes down towards half forward. This will test Revolt again. He just can't go with Talia. He's really struggling, and the ball is knocked across the line. So down we throw in. And Rutten doing a wonderful job on Kazetsky, just 4 possessions.
Yeah, looks like he's labouring there a bit, Nick.
Down we throw in. Jacobs works in front of Kazetsky. Oh, brilliant. Down to Thompson. Across the body. Ricochets back towards the pack. Putting his head down was Stephen. He's going to get the free kick. It was taken high. Not sure that the long sleeves and Kilda jumpers are fashion winner. He kicks it down towards the attacking 50, and Nick takes the mark and is driven hard into the ground as Prestigiacomo would do by Talia.
That's why he's such a great player and such a great captain, Nick Revolt, I reckon. Quite clearly struggling tonight with some form of fitness, but he's gone back, pushed into the forward line, come back on a lead, taken a strong mark. Really respect him.
Talia gave him no slack.
Genuine contested mark, isn't that? He was right on his tail.
So the chant lining up from about 35 metres out. His team really needing a goal here, and he delivers. Nick Revolt puts it through. His first of the night.
Interesting with Revolt, because coming into tonight, I think all of us would have thought he's moving better now than he has for a couple of years now. Tonight, obviously not. The other thing with the Saints, they've been on a lot of 6-day breaks. Now, that would be hard, you think, for Nick. I mean, so whether it's an accumulation of some of that as well as what's happened here tonight, but even though he's taken a fantastic mark and kicked an important goal, he's not moving with the same surety.
Well, there you go. Sort of muted applause, Brooks. 14-7, plays 10-8.
So Revolt gets his first for the night after a fantastic mark. So Adelaide still with a buffer, but St Kilda not going away.
Good tackle, no prior.
Brenton Sanderson would like to see a quick response goal and then another one. I think he'd like to see 2 in a row pretty quickly.
We've been at this margin for a lot of the night, haven't we? 3 to 4 goals. So Van Berlo, quick kick forward. Petrenko, gee, that was good. And the hands were okay. And then Puglesia belting the ball forward. Callanan so quick over the ground, got the bad bounce. Geary on the ground. Clark, who I thought had done pretty well in the first half, he's had a shaky third term. That's okay to Jones. Back to Clark. And then Clark off a step. Now he kicks to a contest. Shaw attacked it hard. Sloane on the up. Okay. McKay back to Shaw. Natural left footer. Heard the call of Sloane. Now Sloane on the left. Gets it wide towards Walker. And a boundary throw in. So Adelaide inside the 50.
A couple of young Crows players, and we see Jason Blake there. He's obviously playing no further part in the game. A couple of young Crows players who their number reflects the player. I reckon they mould themselves on in Dangerfield with Rashudo, and Shaw's got a bit of Ben Hart about him, I reckon.
Thompson again at the base of the pack. Hand pass intercepted by Graham. Hayes, clever. Under pressure, just chips it back towards the 50. Kaczynski did nicely. Malira gave it to Goddard, who's looking for somebody to cruise past. Took a while. Jenkins applied some pressure. Kick skews across towards Sipos. Brilliantly read by Riley. Came up to meet the football. Goes to Van Berlo. Swings it out wide. Rutten. He won't be happy with this. Rutten goes after the head Geary. He's got the football down towards right half forward. Just like sparring. He's a terrific defender, Rutten. A lot of people said that perhaps he made an Australian team, an all-Australian team or two, because of the way Adelaide played defence, but he's perfectly happy one out. Perfectly happy. Natural habitat for the guy.
Doesn't panic, does he? Reads it so well. Jenkins, little give. Thompson just racking them up, kicking the ball inside the 50. Or Mark had really to be taken there. Quick kick by Dangerfield, but only as far as Gilbert off a step. This is where the Saints have been dangerous. Schneider, good thinking footballer, has some space now. Milne running hard. Now he's got Graham right in the centre. Schneider's trying to seduce someone towards him. Revolt. It's a good kick by Schneider, wasn't it? And Nick did well, and then Graham would run so hard through the guts. Takes the mark, and another goal here, and St Kilda maintain the pressure on the scoreboard.
That's the kind of running that we've come to expect of Rewald. There was a lot of... He just had to wait for the St Kilda player to get through the middle of the ground and work out where to get on the end of the kick. Just a lot of running involved to do that.
Now on the run, he's a pretty good kick, Graham. What about from the set? Gave it a hook, didn't he? So Saints have missed a few. You think back to Cozzy and Revolt in that second turn and another. But still very much in this contest.
Best thing about that build-up was the word seduce. I like that, Bruce. It's a bit like the word embalm. It's not a football word, but you've hired it in there. I like that. Kick comes out towards McAvoy. In front, trying to fist it away was Jacobs. Roving the pack, Del Santo, Montagna. Both of them, a lot of the football, and this one was out before Montagna got a fist to it.
I'm better at saying that than doing it, by the way, Dean.
Oh, okay. So a boundary throw in left half forward. Hooked over the back by Jacobs. In trouble is Douglas. Trying to wrench it off him is Armitage, who takes him down. Stack of players, a bounce about 60 metres out. So it's make or break time really now for the Saints. They're falling off the pace, try as they might. Making little impression here. Thompson has just been superb. First touch around the packs. In front, an opportunity for Milne. Kept coming, did Milne. Sweeping hand pass. How did he see him? Oh, and Armitage has missed. Sent away on his natural left foot. I spoke before about perhaps not blistering speed. He needed just a little more there. That's wonderful reflex.
He had to kick it to the goal umpire's feet. That's basically what he had to do. If he aimed at that, it would have been an easy shot, but he just sort of seemed to want to elevate the ball when we see players grubbing the ball through all the time.
Great defensive chase there by Shaw, I think it was, to put on the pressure.
Milne could have done no more.
So Sipos, good mark. So the Saints with a bit of a chance here. They're holding the ball inside their 50. That magnificent long ball by Sipos. And Shaw, who has been really good wearing that Ben Hart number. But that pace of Shaw a moment ago put Armitage under the pump. He's a good size, Tom, is he? I mean, yeah. You can feel like he's small. Yeah, he could play on Revolt or Milne almost, couldn't he? So he's a good pick-up for the Crows. Just his third game tonight. Jones, well done. Montagna can get some distance, but he sprayed it. Now Rutten's underneath it. He won't shy from it well. He decided to belt it. Geary. Milne. Well, Stevie was trying to draw a high tackle there, and it didn't come. And in the end, it'll be a ball up. Not sure what happened there, but Martin wasn't happy with Milne. Milne knew the tackle was coming, and it wasn't high. Tapped by Jacobs again.
See, you ruling footy where the umpire can just throw the ball up?
Come on, come on.
Because I'm seeing it tonight. It's good. I'm happy for it.
Great,
but the umpire's just grabbed it and throwing it up. Well, he's going to bounce it this time. I don't know why he threw it up last time, but he's going to bounce it this time. Throw it up all the time. Gets go, play moving quick.
Gee, sounding like a bloke on the rules committee, Lee. Here's Martin in the back half. He's been very good.
But the hand pass to Callanan, to Rutten. Generally uses the ball well, and this is no exception.
Going to need to be patient here, the Crows. Have got numbers back here. Clark and Gwilt set themselves up well for St Kilda.
Walker goes to Porplesia. Pinpoints it nicely and wide. Callanan.
This ball use off the line. Just consistently get it off the straight line. Kick on an angle here. Brent Riley make the St Kilda defenders move. Just off the line again.
Terrible kick.
Terrible kick. The intention was right.
Montagna goes back and takes it. Lays it off to the run of Del Santo, pushing up the ground to Jones. Inside the centre square. Back to Montagna. Out very wide. Stephen let it bounce. Hard against the boundary line. Goes to half forward Del Santo.
Now, Del Santo normally a long kick. He could go all the way here. And he's driven it right to the line, and Talia belts it over the line. So Knights is on by the look of it. He is.
Jenkins up.
Just on Knights. He's played 20. So Jenkins off. So since he kicked his 43 goals, he's played just 21 out of 54 games, Knights. So he had a fantastic jump out year, didn't he? But it all came together as a sort of high half forward.
And just when he's been back from injury, he hasn't been able to quite get that same form back.
He had a bad pre-season this year, unfortunately. So that's a Walker being held onto for half an hour by Gwilt. I just feel like the next goal, Tom, is just vital here. I mean, Adelaide 3.5 in front, getting deep into the third quarter. And it's been a while since we've seen a goal in a high-scoring match. McKay off a step to Sloane. So Adelaide now building a little slower. Sloane normally quickly to run it on, but he was careful there. Porplesia's been very, very good. And that's a lovely kick off the boot and pinpoint and finds right. Kick and a half away, sets it up, tip it, not quite. And no crumb at that time for the Crows, and that's out on the full.
Even if it wasn't out on the full, it would have been deliberate anyway. It was not the smartest kick going around that one.
So Dempster pays the price. Adelaide get the football. Bit going on in the square. Doughty goes looking for Tippett. Good mark taken in front by Clark. Now,
Come out, please.
I have to cut him a bit of slack because he did land on his head early in the quarter. Hasn't been the same player since. Kick comes towards Graham. Well played by Douglas. Knocked it away. Got it back. And right on the goal line, Dempster takes the defensive mark. Little chip to the pocket. Schneider. Just over 5 minutes remaining in this third term. Schneider with the football up towards left half back, goes for distance towards the wing with the run. McAvoy hands to it, couldn't complete it. Stephen getting busier now, goes to Schneider, the look away hand pass. Stephen shows too much of it to Riley. Thompson deserves to kick a goal. He's been wonderful, and he does. One Scott not too happy, the other delighted.
Great call, Dennis. He's like a bull, isn't he? He's a raging bull, Thompson. I mean, there's a bit of chappy about him in terms of trying to bring him down. I mean, he's a different player now, but he's a hard man to bring down in the tackle, Thompson, and he's had a wonderful game again tonight.
I don't think Brucey loses anything by comparison.
Oh, no.
With Chapman.
No. Different player. I'm not saying not as good. I'm saying different. No, he's in that class, Dennis, but this is just power, isn't it?
It's just the ability to actually break the tackle. That's what Scott wanted to be saying. The tackle was broken. Really, he had him cold, but he was good enough to get clear. 30th disposal, really good goal to Thompson.
Here's Knight's first disposal. Walker front spot, belted away, Dos Santos. So the Saints have to get the next one. It had been about 12 minutes since a goal had been scored at either end. Rutten, still with Rutten. Jacobs, Doughty. Well, that's good hands by Wright. Yench running hard. He had Dangerfield short, but he had a couple of other options. Sloan. And Sloan quickly to Walker. Adelaide opening it up here. Petrenko's on. He goes to Van Berlo. Van Berlo to Thompson. There's a lovely pick-up. And goes and misses the lot. And that's a poor finish. He must be... Well, a word that starts with a B and finishes with a B.
He's covering some ground, isn't he? Covering some ground.
Chappie would have picked it.
It was a beautiful pick-up by Scott Thompson. Playing pretty close to the perfect midfielder's game at the moment.
Dempster. Riley, though, takes the mark.
We're doing it on our All-Australian team again after the game because we might make a couple of changes in second days.
Our team, absolutely. Find a spot for Scott Thompson.
Parts of it were my team. Others, blokes picked. Inside the forward 50. Douglas was high. Walker behind. Tipper to Petrenko. Keeps the ball alive. Brilliant. Gets it across to Wright. Oh, what a team goal. That will be on the club highlight reel come presentation night. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, a lot of hands here, and terrific stuff. They are a good side. I mean, Dangerfield sort of started it. It didn't quite take them up, but then broke the tackle. And Wright's been on the end of a couple, but he does the job, doesn't he?
I reckon it's been the ability for the Crows all night to break the tackle. They just look really strong through the core, strong around the shoulders. Playing against them, need to make sure you get very low and hit the hips, but the strength has been really impressive.
For much of this quarter, St Kilda was set up with a spare defender, but still, whenever the ball's in the Crows' forward line, they seem like they've got more numbers. So they are prepared to get in there to the fall of the ball and try and outnumber at the contest, get their reward.
So Schneider to Hayes, and Hayes going long, and Rutten getting back. He had a really difficult pre-season, Rutten. It was a big decision for Brenton Sanderson to play him in the opening game. Against the Suns, he did, and he hasn't looked back. So Jacobs, Lee Jacobs, a lot of talk about him being an All-Australian ruckman. Is he in the frame, do you reckon?
Well, I think he probably is. I mean, he's certainly had a terrific year.
So Van Berlo off that step. Petrenko at the back. In the front was Dempsey. Good pick up by McKay. And McKay squares the footy. He's so skillful, McKay. Thompson off a step, drills it. Tipper, gee, can you believe that? Hayes gets it from Gwilt. Hayes with a running bounce, kicking the ball wide. God, Thompson, you take over, Dennis. I mean, oh no. He missed it. He missed it. I can't believe it.
He was exhausted there.
Malera suckers it forward, and this ball goes out of bounds. So just looking at this side tonight, Tom, I mean, Sanderson cut his coaching teeth at Geelong. How much of what you know about Geelong, the inner workings of your time there, you can see out on the ground?
I think a lot of the in-close contested work over the pre-season did a lot of grappling and wrestling and those sorts of things, and there's definitely a Darren Milburn stamp across the half-back line with players like Riley, and we see Shaw come in and Martin come in. No doubt that Milburn's had an imprint on those players.
Wrestling and grappling. The Beast could be a specialist coach.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, a lot of clubs get caught up in the weights. But you don't lift weights on the football field. You throw people around, you tackle people, and that's the best form of training you can do.
Ball's out of bounds. It'll be thrown in, and you get the feeling that maybe the resistance has been quelled here. Maybe Adelaide have broken the back of the Saints. A minute and a half out from three-quarter time. St Kilda have been brave, but all the finesse, all the style, all the class has been with Adelaide tonight. Dangerfield, right on cue, puts it out of bounds on the full. Back goes Dempster. across the front of goal. Gilbert has to wait, and wait he does, takes the mark. 103 plays 71. The margin was 16 at half-time, so that's doubled.
It's going to be hard from this point on for St Kilda. It's a 6-day break with 2 travels. They played in the Gold Coast last Saturday night. It's just a very, very big ask.
Oh, gutsy mark. Rav Clark ghosting in front of the pack to take it.
They did very well. Armitage, sweeping handball to Graham. Just needing a late goal, the Saints here, just to give them some momentum as they come in for three-quarter time. Del Santo to Schneider. Pretty good guy with the ball in hand, I reckon, Schneider. Over the top. Now, Sigmos could kick this. He's 50 metres out, like it off the boot, but just a hook in the end. And a behind. This is since the start of 09, only the Bombers on 2 occasions have had such a heavier score against the Saints to three-quarter time. I mean, that incredible period where Ross Lyon, you couldn't kick a score against them, but this has been a free-flowing match for a lot of it, and Adelaide already over that 100 points. Such a beautiful night for 2. And usually at Footy Park you get that dewy night, but we haven't seen it tonight. The crowd cover tonight, it hasn't been such a cool night, and we've seen the skills displayed quite brilliantly, mainly by Adelaide. St Kilda have been brave. I know we use that term a lot, but they've hung and hung, but at the moment it's a thin thread, and I'm not sure if they've got hold of it. That ball finally coming out, poor Pleasure, getting the ball forward. Gilbert off a step, and Adelaide, maybe they've done enough. It's a good lead at three-quarter time. They're sitting on 8-2. They've got a chance to climb back to second on the table tonight. And on a Friday night, a beautiful Friday night for footy, Adelaide lead the Saints by 31. It's 103 to 72.